Hello, welcome back to the channel. It's Richie here from Dawi After Dark, and we have a very special episode for you today. This is the big fat quiz of the old world, finishing off 2025 and going into 2026 with Steam. Now, we are coming to you from the past. We are recording this before 2026 for your viewing pleasure. And today I would like to introduce to you, we have Tom, UK Resin Print Carly, and also Dave Groby Brewis. And also for your viewing pleasure, Scott, the Imperishable Reed!
People demand the beer brings on a more regular basis than what I've heard. The huge, millions and millions of people tuning in demand. More Dave.
More Dave. And Happy New Year. It's going out in January, right?
Yeah. So this is going out on New Year's Day. So we are currently doing a little bit of time travel, talking at you from the past.
So if the law changes dramatically in the next 36 hours, it's not our fault.
Yeah, we're really sorry.
We're sorry.
If they reinvent everything again, we didn't know.
So today we are going to be doing a quiz. So it's going to be starting off with a lore segment, which is going to be great for Dave because he doesn't know anything about the lore. And then we are going to be going into a rules segment as well. And we also have some special guests dotted about to ask us questions and give us some of the answers as well. I'm really, really excited about some of these. And yeah, it should be good fun to see how everybody gets on. Now, this is a quiz that's going to be participation here, obviously, but also for you at home as well. So every couple of questions, we are going to give out some of the answers. So play along at home as well. And let us know in the comments how many of the questions you get right or how many of them you get horrendously wrong. Some of them are really easy. Some of them are actually quite difficult. So it'd be interesting to see how many minus score Dave ends up with.
This is going to be super upsetting when somehow Tom and I absolutely drop a clanger and Dave wins the law round.
Yeah,
right. It's the rules round. I've got you scaled.
Is it multiple choice or is it we just have to try and get close to the answer?
So some of them are multiple choice, but I am only accepting the exact answer spelled the exact correct way as well. So you're going to have to watch out for that.
I can't write.
I assume Dave spent the entire day just doing nothing but research and lore of old world.
I went to the Metro Centre and then left the Metro Centre within 5 minutes. On Earth.
So you've experienced some orc and goblin lore then?
Yeah.
So for the first question, we have a very special guest. We have Val Heffelfinger joining in to drop the first question.
Hello, this is Val Heffelfinger reporting live from a very cold ski hill in Quebec. Oh, Jesus Christ. I believe the question is, here it is. The question is, according to the lore, what faction invented cannons?
So, as that is the first question, and this is a sample of what's going to be coming in the quiz, please, everybody, let me know what you got. Everybody at home, let me know as well in the comments down below. Everybody, what did you go for? Tom, start with you.
Did you just shoot Val?
With a cannon. That's definitely...
I get it.
Created by short people.
It was very abrupt. Cathay.
So, you've gone with Cathay. Dave, what did you go for?
It's Cathay.
Cathay as well. Scott, what did you go for?
Cathay definitely invented all black powder weapons and then given to the short folk of the world to pass on to the taller folk.
Tell you what, let's have a quick look to see if you're all right.
Ha 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 ha. Did you guess dwarfs? You're wrong. It's Cathay, obviously. Anyway, that's the question, and that's the answer. I'm Val Heffelfinger. Have a great day.
Thank you very much, Val. Really, really appreciate it. Everybody go over to Squarebase and go and have a look. And unfortunately, everybody, I disagree with this. It was definitely dwarves, so no points for anybody. Screw Cathay.
I can see how this quiz is going to go now.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to throw it right out there from the start. I question the quizmaster here. Just saying. We'll see.
Every answer from now on is dwarfs. Yeah, yep. Sure.
Yep.
Yeah, it definitely is. Right, buckle up, everybody. Hope you've got your beers. I definitely have. So we're going to start off the lore segment of this with a special guest.
Hi, I'm Max from Barefoot Minchers, and Richie has asked me to give the next question. So my question is going to be for the quiz: what is the name of the New Year's celebration according to the Imperial calendar? We're not accepting Dwarvish, we're not accepting Elvish. What is the Imperial name for New Year's?
I've got it.
I'm
Name.
sure I've known this in the past, which is the most upsetting part. This has been in some of the GW novels. Like,
Yeah, so this is starting off the quiz with a nice, interesting one. For any of you out there who are keen Gotrek and Felix readers, this is the setting for the first Gotrek and Felix.
Oh, well, no, that's
on the
too easy.
omnibus.
That's a huge giveaway.
It is. But just in
Let's
case,
temper that down with the concept of huge giveaway for a moment.
yeah, it's a really, really small giveaway if you may or may not have read the book.
I was going to say, if you...
3 decades. Which I
This round, Richie could literally whisper the answer in my ear, and I'll be like, huh?
The spelling on this is horrific, by the way.
But none of you don't know it, then it's just a non-answer.
I think I'm right, but I think I'm really wrong on the spelling.
Oh, I know that's not right.
Yeah, it's fine. So we go into the second question. Who was Sigmar's closest ally among the dwarves during the founding of the Empire? So this is a little bit of old lore.
A dwarf question. 2
I mean,
in a row. Convenient.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a few of these dwarven questions kind of hidden
Good thing you're not
amongst
playing,
them.
Mr. Ritchie.
Yeah, I know, right?
I assume some dwarf fella is an unacceptable answer.
I'm literally just naming things that I remember from lore-ish period. Couldn't tell you if it's right, though.
So we actually have another dwarf question, funnily enough, but this is the last one for a little bit anyway.
Okay.
So what sacred artifact did the dwarves gift to Sigmar that become a symbol of imperial authority? Now, this one should be a pretty easy question for everybody out there. If you want a little hint for this one, it is on a lot, and I mean a lot of the rule books out there for Warhammer, the Old World, and Warhammer Fantasy as well. For our next question, we have, what event marks the true beginning of the Imperial calendar? Now, Dave, I will not accept the crucifixion of Sigmar. Thank you very much. So that's quite an interesting one, I think. Probably not what you would expect. So going into the fourth question, why did Nekakara fall into undeath rather than true immortality? Now, this is one out there for the Tomb Killings and the Vampire players, so I can imagine Scott's going to have a little bit of a field day with this one. But for anybody at home, this is potentially a little bit of a trick question. So make sure that you have a proper think about it.
That's the slam of a confident man.
It is.
I'm going for technically correct on that answer.
I feel that technically correct is normally quite good. This is I feel it's a little bit of a fun one. So once Scott's
I'm
finished...
still going. I want to give you some detail here, Rich. It's the only one I'm getting right.
Oh, you're actually writing an essay for this one, are you?
Yeah.
All right, I will ask you first what your answer is going to be. I'm just going to sit here and slam biz. This is great when I can ask all the questions. This is amazing.
I'm already stressed.
It gets worse.
Okay.
So for the fifth question, this is also a Tomb Kings question. What crime earned Nagash his first exile? It was a little bit of a clue there about it being a Tomb Kings question. So if you have a little bit of a think at home, what did Nagash do? Now, the answer, he was a really bad man, unfortunately, isn't going to fit into this one.
And also subjective?
Yeah, slightly subjective. I mean, he could have been a very, very good man, but we'll we'll get back to that in a little bit. After the fifth question, I will be giving the answers for these very, very soon. But we first have a guest appearance that is going to ask us a little bit of an open-ended question. So we'll just have a little discussion about this. There is no right and wrong one for this.
Hi, Richie. This is Andrea from Sun Tzu Secrets, the Italian YouTube channel for Warhammer the Old World. Hi everybody, my question to you is, if the vampire counts are to come back into the Warhammer world, where do you see them fitting in from a lore perspective? Would it be like a regular army of vampire count? Would it be more like the Vampire Coast, Sartosa, or anything like it? What would you say? Thank you. Ciao.
Thank you very much, Andreas. It was great to hear from you. Now, let's
Andreas.
go.
My
What
heck,
a leg.
is he a gorgeous man?
He's too good looking to be on
He
this
has got
channel on a regular basis.
no
The world can't
face.
exist when both Andreas and Rich are on the TV together. It's too much good looks.
I mean, it's just unacceptable that he plays Warhammer. That's for us cave dwellers, not for something like that. And I knew an answer. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, that just absolutely tickled me then. Right, so Andreas's question was a little bit of an open-ended one that we're going to have a little bit of a discussion about rather than a correct answer.
No, there's a correct answer.
Well, I mean,
There's a correct.
I feel there definitely is. Right, so going in, so the first question.
Geheimersnacht is what I went for.
Nice. What about you, Dave?
I'm praying I spelt it right, and if I'm wrong, can I have points if I've spelt it right?
There's a logic to my answer here. Since Cathay invented everything, it is the celebration of Shugmanay.
Oh, glorious.
Right,
I've got nothing in my locker. I couldn't remember what it was called. I've written something to do with the moon. Something to do with more sleep. I couldn't think what it was.
Actually, New Year's Eve is Hexen's Nacht, and this is actually the day in Gotrek and Felix, in the first book where they go out on Hexen Nacht, and I think they're in an inn in the first or second story and find the Slanesh cult. So that is my question and answer. Back to you, Richie, in the studio.
Thank you very much, Max. So unfortunately, there were no correct answers on this one. So this is going to be minus points for everybody at home. Did you manage to get it, or did you manage to get tripped up at the first hurdle as well? I did give everybody a very, very big clue, but unfortunately, we didn't go for it. Right, so the first...
Very big clue.
They're both in the first book. That's the annoying fucking thing.
I know that one's Halloween, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, I knew it as I wrote it, but I was like, I don't know, maybe Halloween's New Year's Day.
I love it.
This is all some sort of subversion of trying to get us to reread a dwarf-based book.
Yeah,
I feel that you should. The only books worth reading are the dwarf-based books in Warhammer Fantasy.
They are good. I just
They're
named
amazing.
Dwarf for the next one.
Ironic for a group of people that can't read themselves.
Hey!
That is entirely true. Right, so let's have a look at the first one that I read out. So, who was Sigmar's closest ally among the dwarves during the founding of the Empire? What did you go for at home? And Tom, start us out again, mate. What did you go for?
Snorri Whitebeard, because it's the oldest dwarf I could think of.
I do love Snorri, but unfortunately that is not correct. Down to you, Dave.
Dwarfy McDwarfface.
I think Dave might actually just get bonus points for that one, I think.
Whoa!
Hey,
Get lost!
You're setting the tone for some ridiculous answers, if so. I'm just going penises.
Okay, right. Dave's going to get half a point for that because it tickled me.
Well.
Right, Scott, what did you go for, mate?
I thought I'm going on record of questioning the integrity of the quiz.
Okay. Anyway,
It's degenerated already.
You're turning more like Jimmy Carr every second we go into this, Rich.
And I went for Dwarf King something. Alaric's boss.
Right, minus points. That's offensive to the Dwarf Guide. So
People are real people.
the correct answer is Kurgan Ironbeard, who was the dwarf at the time.
Was he
now,
king?
he was, mate. He was.
He was a Dwarf King then, so I was right.
Fake news. So the second question that I'm sure everybody got, including those here as well, hopefully, is what sacred artifact did the dwarves give Sigmar that become a symbol of Imperial authority? Because you've got to respect my authority.
It says question 2, but it's actually question 3. So can I get a point for being correct?
I did also say Galmaraz.
I said Jason Galmaraz.
There is a point for everybody. And I'm going to give Tom a bonus point because he noticed the fact that I've cocked up my orders. So you can.
We all know it's your orders.
I'm embracing the nature.
Away. So the third, or possibly fourth question is: what event marks the true beginning of the Imperial calendar? What did you go for, everybody?
Sigmar's Ascension. That's
Oh,
what I
that's
went
not
for. It's
technically
Sigmar's
true.
Summit.
Essentially,
Yeah.
what, Tom?
What did you go for, Dave?
The assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand. I've got high.
That's definitely a character in the Warhammer universe as well. You know they put him in there somewhere.
Yeah, he definitely is. Right, Scott, what did you go for?
The start of the Imperial calendar is actually when Sigmar was crowned Emperor and officially started the Empire. Not when he ascended to godhood.
No, that's your interpretation of my.
That's why I asked you to clear it up, Tom.
He ascended to the throne.
Or was he already on the throne? They just gave him a crown.
I told you I was technically correct with this one.
So the answer, however technically correct it is,
when it turns out it's Franz Ferdinand.
The correct answer is the ascension of Franz Ferdinand. No, so for everybody at home, it is the coronation of Sigmar of the
Don't give me a
Empire.
point. I was fully going for the Heaven Sigmar bit.
Right, you can have minus then, that's fine. So we're going into the fourth or potentially fifth question. Why did Nekakara fall to the undeath rather than true immortality?
Shit. I lost my pad. I went for because Nagash fucked up.
I mean, yeah, pretty much. Right, Scott, we'll go for your one because I can imagine this one's actually correct before we get Dave's.
Well, so
how dare you?
Obviously, it's fundamentally a perversion of the mortuary cult and their previously really pleasant keeping death and getting people ready for a true awakening. However, because Nagash is a bad man and was tainted by some dark magics, and other bad things that he may or may not have
fucked up. Could be summed
yes,
up.
Indeed, yeah.
He fucked up. Could be summed up that way.
They created the elixir that then perverted further to create vampires, but that's what originally led to the.
Could you also classify that one as a fuck up?
Yeah, it wasn't the intended result, so technically it was fucked up.
So yeah, I would say I was correct.
And then later he doubled down and did the Great Awakening, which just then created undeath across the world on a much more
huge fuck up.
Huge fuck up here.
Yeah. Cool. Glad we're on the same page.
Yeah.
You could definitely describe that as a pretty big fuck up, to be fair.
Yeah,
right, Dave, what have you gone for, mate?
So I started by writing it was sort of a perversion of the mortuary cult. But then I finished with Cathay didn't invent them yet.
I love it. So the correct answer for this is basically exactly what Scott said. So is Nagash corrupted the mortuary cult rituals with spells that were intended to grant eternal life. Nagash twisted them into mass necromancy. So there are definitely some points going around for this. Dave does get half a point again because he decided to steal some work, but he's going to get a little bit of points anyway.
I didn't write it down. I'm not stealing the half point.
So going into the fifth question that I read, everybody. So this is: what crime earned Nagash his first exile?
I want to hear Dave's first on this one because I feel this is going to be creative beauty.
I've got quite a list here. Starting with Nagash did nothing wrong.
Yes. Yes.
Slash tax evasion / weighted dice / noncing / didn't sweat.
Well, I think that might be minus points. Right, so Tom, what did you go for?
Created the naughty portion.
For everybody at home that didn't see that, Tom, what did you write down, mate?
Create the naughty potion.
I love it. Right, so Scott, please help us. What did you put down, mate?
Well, he stopped. It really wasn't extra for it, but he started off by usurping the throne from his brother because he's a less than a pleasant person. Some might argue it's questionable. But then, then as Tom said, he did create the naughty potion to extend life eternal. Then pulled other kings of Kenry in, and then tried to take over all of Nekakara, which is
very
okay.
So,
that was my first answer, and I crossed it out.
then got banished.
Right, so there are a couple of points getting handed out for this one. So the answer for everybody at home is practicing forbidden necromancy, poisoning the Nehekaran kings. In his early experiments, he was already considered heretical, even by Nehekaran standards. And yes, he was a bit of a naughty boy.
So previous to the naughty potion.
Did he sweat, though?
He perverted the mortuary cults, rites to start with his dark magic.
And
then he created the naughty potion to further extend their life.
But it was the noodling around with the politics that got him booted. And then...
that was
do it.
Faux pas.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to watch out for this stuff. Like, the politics will get you kicked out, to be fair.
Take note, people of the world. If your person is doing noodly things to your politics, they can be removed.
Necromancy, okay.
With Andreas's question about the vampire count's return, we are going to listen to a little quote from everybody about what they think should happen with the vampire counts, and who convinces me the most is getting 2 points, and who convinces me the least is getting -2. So hit me, Tom.
So there's 2 angles that I see that you can go from here, depending on which way they want to go on the map. I think on the first one, the most obvious one is Musion. It's super well placed. You've got vampires that aren't dead there. You've got a population there. And from G-Dub's point of view, you only have to make half a model line because it's vampires and humans. They've already got the Bretonnians. The cooler one, though, would be over on the other side of the World's Edge Mountains, where you have the Lamians sitting in the Silver Pinnacle. They've never been booted out. They went in and just killed a whole dwarf host in one night in 24 hours. Killed the whole goddamn thing and then just sat in there. And I'd love it if they'd expand that out, because we've only ever had 2 Lamian models ever, or maybe 3. You know, it's not something they've ever really explored out. We've had tons of vampire knights. Let's have the weird female, like, courtesan type thing. That's my idea.
Pretty convincing. Right, Dave, let's hear what you've got to say and see if you can convince me.
I've been saying this every episode that we're in. It's the only bit of lore I know. It's Musalon. They don't have to release any models to release a book. It's relevant. It's in a couple of years' time in the grand calendar. The entire model range is there for it. So you could, like, everybody keeps talking about Vampire Coast and stuff like that, which would be really cool. I know Tom would be delighted because he's got some amazing zombie pirates with blunderbusses on his store. But the entire Vamp model range has been moved out of Age of Sigmar with new sculpts. All of the relevant ones for Musalon, so the Blood Knights, the Graveguard, are all now replaced in Age of Sigmar. The answer will be Musalon. It's the only thing that makes sense from a business perspective and a lore perspective.
Yeah, we have talked about vampires coming into the world quite a lot, haven't we? And how they're bringing in. And I genuinely think the way GW will proceed is the easier option, which is Musalon, because not only, like the guy said, it's got the right model. You don't need to recreate any models inherently to release them, and it's an easy release. It also fits the current and accurate timeline without further retcon or adjusting anything. So I do think the way the will go will be Musalon. However, I know we had spitballed it around. I would love to see them take the alternative, which is through the Lamian bloodline. Because now that they've gone with Cathay, there's this huge space on the old world that they could go ogres, they could have went Chaos Dwarfs, or anything else in that huge space in between the Empire and Cathay. So the other option, if they wanted, was the Lamian bloodline of vampires. But I think that would be the cooler way of doing it. I think it'll be Musalon.
Well, I think you've all convinced me, so I'm going to give 2 points to everyone. So interestingly, actually, I was doing a little bit of research for this quiz. I didn't end up putting a question about Musion in because Andreas asked this, but we are currently in the timeline for 2276 currently in the old world. It's progressed 2 years since the old world came out. But the timeline for Musion is 2290. I think it's 96, 98, something like that. And it does actually happen before the Great War Against Chaos. So I can imagine this is something we'll see. So, going into the next section of the quiz, we have a bonus question.
Hello, and a happy new year to you all. My name's Grant. I'm from Plucky's Tabletop Parlor, where we focus on a lot of beginner content for people getting into the old world. I am a massive, massive Wood Elf fan, and Richie has kindly asked me to submit a question for you all about the Wood Elves. So, here's my question. The Wood Elves of Athel Loren are known as the Azrai, but what are their cousins from Lorelorn Forest in the north of the Empire known as? Is it A, the Asurani? Is it B, the Eonir? Is it C, the Lathanel? Or is it D, the Venari?
Amazing. Thank you so much for that. As you can see, he's definitely got a higher budget than me to be able to do these presentations. Amazingly edited work. Go check his channel out. Plucky is just amazing. So what did everybody think to that one? We're going to answer this right now, and then we're going to tot up the scores and go into the next section. So what have you come up with, everyone?
D, because I guessed.
I was generally shocked that I don't think I've ever heard of this before.
Have you not?
I don't think I have.
Oh, you're going for e-punks.
I
like it, right.
For what it's worth, I went right to the bottom.
And the correct answer was B, the Eonir. Have a happy new year, and we'll see you all in 2026.
Thank you very much, Lucky. Lovely bloke.
Yeah.
Lovely channel.
Yeah.
Fuck Wood Elves categorically, so that's why e-punks. But lovely bloke, really nice guy. Don't want to think that I hate you. You're lovely. Just Wood Elves dicks, all of them.
Thank you so much for that, mate. Amazing channel. Please go check him out. Just amazingly edited stuff. It's a beautiful, beautiful channel. So we are going into the next questions. Now, this one is another one for Scott, actually. They're a little bit themed at the beginning of the quiz. So, which Tomb King was the first to awaken after Nagash's defeat? For anybody who doesn't know, he's quite a big deal in the Tomb Kings, and he has a really, really big chariot.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for giving me the right answer.
Come on, man.
I only went for a different one. Definitely didn't write out down Al-Qadizar first. Thank you, Richie. Thank you.
It's fine, mate. It's fine. Because I actually forgot to do this earlier, and this is our first ever quiz. So, as you can imagine, I'm going to make all the mistakes under the sun. I forgot to read out the scores so far. So, the way that they're looking at the moment is Tom is in the lead with 8 points. Scott is second with 7 points. And Dave is on a very respectable minus 1.5.
Yes.
Solid.
Better than I thought I'd be doing.
I'm going for you.
Right. So, the next question. This might help you with the last one, actually, if you haven't already written it down. Why does Cetra refuse to acknowledge Nagash as a god? I mean, I probably wouldn't either, to be perfectly honest, as they probably went to like school together, and you know what I mean. Like,
I think Cetra was a lot older than Nagash, to be fair. Like, a lot.
Yeah, I can imagine like Cetra's there chilling, like there's some young little Nagash there, and he's like, "Oh, I'm a god now, by the way." He's like, "No, you're not, mate. No, you're not."
I don't only Cetra rules were anywhere remotely as cool as his actual law.
In the new Total War trailer, it was banging. That was Cetra's bit in that was so cool.
When he perished.
He perished.
yeah, but it was still really cool.
I don't know what you're on about. He is imperishable, and
some
definitely
might argue
not
that when it comes to his rules, Cetra's very much perishable.
He is. He's definitely also not the answer to the last question either. Not at all. So let's head to the next question. What is the Lady of the Lake most likely to be? Now, we're going to completely discount what they said in the end times, because...
Whoa! That's still the
we're going to be... We're going to completely discount it, and we can have a little discussion about what we potentially think that it might be, and whoever convinces me gets the points for
I
that
think
one.
I'm going to win this one. I'm pure technically correct here.
So we are heading to the lands of heraldry and valor, to Bretonia. Why are the Bretonnian peasants forbidden from bearing knightly arms? Everybody at home. So what I mean by that is basically being able to use the knight's heraldry and the equipment of the knights, just in case you didn't get the question. So the next question: what happens to Bretonnian knights who fail the Grail quest? Now, we've all watched Indiana Jones, so I can imagine you end up either just...
I have no idea on any of these, so I'm just going for pure comedy. We'll just see if my jokes flop or not.
I did say at the beginning that some of these are actually really difficult. I was going through them and I was like, right, I don't want to make this too easy for everyone, because I guarantee there's like a lot of people out there that are like, oh, this is so easy. I guarantee for a lot of us this actually isn't. Like, I didn't know the answer to a lot of these.
I'll ignore the law.
I'm not one of those people. I feel like my 1.5 is in danger of getting worse.
Yeah, I'll be joining you in the second down there, buddy.
The next question: what caused the collapse of the ancient Elven colonies in the Old World? For me, this is only a good thing, so I feel no regret for this happening. I'm glad that they pissed off back to Wolfrun, to be perfectly honest. We're going back into a dwarf question now. Why do dwarves still hold grudges over events thousands of years old? Now, this can be a little bit of a double barrel question. So basically, you could say why they do it, or potentially how they do it, and then I'll give you points for that as well. For everybody at home, there is a certain type of lore that you could potentially look into for stuff like this, but it is pretty ingrained into why the dwarves are dwarves, which might show up in this next question. So hopefully everybody here has finished writing. What is the true purpose of the Great Book of Grudges, or the Damaz Kron? It's quite an interesting little bit of lore. The fact that every single one of the Carracks has one of the like their own version of the Great Book of Grudges that they then take and add all of their grudges into the Damaz Kron, which is held at Karazakarak. And another one as well. There's only 9 holds still remaining as well, which is pretty crazy. Actually,
For now.
For now, yeah.
How many holds are held by goblins?
We don't talk about this. It's lies. It's propaganda and lies, and this as well. It is. So question 14, why did the War of the Beard begin? This should be a relatively easy one out there. Those are the dwarf fans out there. Is why is the War of Vengeance begin?
How far back are we going on this?
I went for some initial stuff right at the start.
Technically, there's 2 answers here, isn't there? There's the answer the world knows, and there's the real answer.
Yeah. So if you give me the answer the world knows, you get 1 point. If you give me the entire lexicon of the book, The War in Vengeance, I will give you an additional +3 points.
Okay. I'm going to go for it on this one, Rich, because the rest of them I'm going to bomb out so fucking hard. So hard.
So we have one final question before a bonus question. Well, one final one from me anyway. Why is magic considered dangerous but necessary in the Empire? You almost think about it like it's a trick question, but it's actually not. To be fair, you don't have to overthink that one. So now we are going to be going into a bonus lore question. Now, this one is from one of our good friends, and it's quite a difficult one as well, actually. There's no way that I would get this. So welcome, Michele.
Hi, all friends from Dawi After Dark channel. I am Michele from Italy, and that's the question that comes directly from Tilean. There is a city in Tilean that its description is very close to Venice and Milan. Do you know the name of that city?
So a cheeky question about Tilean. This isn't something that's well talked about in the old world. So like Istalia, Tilean, like it's not common knowledge out there. So this is kind of like deep lore. So this is quite a difficult kind of question, I think. So thank you so much for potentially losing everyone a lot of points.
I got it.
I don't know which one it is. I'm writing down both. I'm hedging bets. Screw it. You don't own me.
I like it. Hopefully some of you out there at home would have got this. I mean, if you are a seasoned Warhammer player that has been deep diving in the lore for
Total
20
War.
plus years, then you might be able to get. Or just play Total War, actually. I completely forgot about that. Yeah,
Total
100%.
War, that's where I'm going. I'm thinking, where is Venice on the map, and then roughly where this city is, and it's between two. That's literally what I'm going for.
Games Workshop did not rip off the actual map of Europe for Warhammer the Old World.
No.
What are you
No.
talking about, Tom?
How dare you suggest that?
Look at Albion. It's just a weird triangular spigot in the sea. Oh, wait.
Let's have a look at the answer for this question from Michele, and then we will jump into the answer section of this section of the quiz.
Right is Miragliano. Have a nice end of the year and a pretty good start of a new year.
Thank you so much for that, mate. It was an absolute pleasure to have you on. So, what did you all go for? Did anybody get it right?
Looking.
I went for two. One of which is Mergliano. So I wouldn't know if it was that one or whether it was Monte Castello.
I went Miragliano or Lucchini because they're really close to each other, and it could have been either one. But I wrote Miragliano first.
I think he gave us a big hint there with it being based on Milan. So the only real answer was Millwall.
I love you, Dave.
I'll
I
have
love
my
you.
point.
At first, I wrote Marienburg, and I was like, no, Scott, that's completely wrong.
That's Empire.
Yeah, I had to really rack my brains. Like, it still begins with an M, though. Then I got Merigliano, and I was like, is it? Or is that other one? That's like Monte Carlo, but not. Definitely not, but similar.
I thought he was going to ask us the name of the Skaven city, so that's immediately where I started furrowing through the old brain matter, and then he was like, oh, no. The other city. I'm focusing
Also,
in a different direction.
Everyone loves Michele. The guy's a hero.
Oh, he's fantastic.
No, he absolutely is. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming onto the channel. It's been great. So let's have a look at some of the answers. So, which Tomb King was the first to awaken after Nagash's defeat? Yeah. So I might have given that away a little bit. So, Dave, did you get Cetra as well?
I did actually say Cetra.
Yeah.
Oh, that's okay.
You probably said it before you even gave a clue.
I did. I
Maybe.
started writing Archon the Black, but I didn't.
Only at work.
Because I know two lore characters now.
Oh, hold on.
I'm telling you, Archon's not a Tomb King.
Can I say Scott only gets a point if he lists his full name?
You can't list his full name. It's enormous.
So hopefully everybody at home managed to get this as well. So why does Cetra refuse to acknowledge Nagash as a god?
Cetra does not serve.
Ooh.
He does not serve, he does not bow, he does not kneel. Cetra is king of kings and god of gods. He thinks.
So referring back to earlier answers, tax evasion / weighted dice / noncing / doesn't sweat / and something about kneeling.
Cetra doesn't sweat.
Cetra doesn't sweat, doesn't kneel.
Cetra
And also,
sweats.
did anybody write down what he recognized Nagash as?
A puppet.
A nonce.
A false god.
It was a powerful sorcerer and nothing more. But you are going to get some points out of this. Dave, not so much.
No.
So going into the first Bretonnian question, what is the Lady of the Lake most likely to be? Now, we already have this from the end times, but I didn't like it. So Needy, I like it. Scott, what did you go for?
Honestly, not the way they did it, but I actually quite liked the fact that it was
an elf, wasn't it?
An elf, yeah. But they used what's her name?
Lilith,
yeah. Which I don't know if I was happy with it being that specific god, and then the whole link with Teclis and all of that crap that happened at the end times. But I do quite like the idea that it could be an elf goddess, maybe an unknown one. A bit more of a link to the fact that Bretonnia has like the wood elf forest on the edge of it as well, and like somehow that's connected. Like that I quite like that, even if how they then portrayed it at the end wasn't very cool. Or technically, it's just a lady in a lake.
Well, they rug pulled it in the end times, didn't they?
Yeah, which I just thought was a shame because actually, but I don't mind there ever being an elf. Some sort of ephemeral elf creature kind of works for us, if I'm honest.
Yeah. We all thought it was all the way through the 80s, 90s, and well, it wasn't
exactly.
the 80s, but you know,
but not the way it came through, which I think's the problem. Like I think making an elf goddess is cool, and now might as well even it goes like some sort of powerful elf sorceress, something like that, from so long ago that they've become like part of that. The way they did it though was upsetting.
Definitely was. Right, so Dave, what did you go for?
So this is my first being technically correct, which is, as we all know, the best kind of correct, because your question didn't state who, it stated what is the Lady of the Like most likely to be. So I went with wet.
That's why I went with needy.
I like it. So that is -2 points for Dave and also Tom, and then 2 points for Scott for that round.
We're only.
I genuinely think both wet and needy were the best answers.
What did you have written down as your answer? Was it an elf?
It's not that bitch Liliath. So yeah. Which, if you'd have got that verbatim, would have been plus 10 points. By the way,
I'd have been okay with it if it had been like just a really powerful human sorceress who'd like back then like much more like witchcraft and to become one with the land and eventually became one with the lake and blah blah blah, jazzed it up a little bit. But they could have done something much cooler with it, couldn't they? Like that's the saddest part.
I mean, there's one thing that I hate more than an elf, and it's water. So an elf in water. I don't like that.
Wet elf, you're not.
You'll not
and spiders.
Wet. Spiders, obviously.
Triggered. So going into question 9, why are Bretonnian peasants forbidden from bearing knightly arms?
Classism.
Oh. That is getting some points. What did you go for, Scott?
Well, in the same way when I wrote not gentry.
Well, that's I think half a point for that one. Dave, what did you go for?
The Second Amendment to the Constitution doesn't include them.
Nice.
Probably right.
There's no constitution in a land governed by a woman.
No, they definitely have Magna Carta. They surely have Magna Carta. It's just fucking Britain with French accents.
Yeah, pretty much. So the correct answer we were looking for, everybody at home who's doing their scores, is feudalism. So yes, it is a class system. So Tom is technically right with that one. You can have half a point.
I was
Dave. That one's that's -2. Sorry, mate.
Obviously, give it up on -1. Like, no, -2.
Yeah.
What's it?
What happens to Bretonnian knights who fail the Grail quest?
Sorry,
what did you go for?
Now I need to add it back in. Straight to Grail jail.
On a similar line, I went for they are now called fail knights.
Well, I question sort of how one fundamentally fails, or when does one classify?
Going home, mate.
Real quest?
You go home. That's how you fail.
No, yeah, because obviously they have a whole section of knights just called questing knights.
Is there not a little bit about the grey in this in End Times lore where the guy fails his Grail quest because he was doing it for himself in his own power?
Yeah, so I assume they just become
and he became a vampire.
Well, they don't actually become a vampire for it. Like, that was just a byproduct of another engagement with said other vampire.
All right, and that was my first attempt to discuss.
I was just saying, Dave.
Just throw it in my face. I'm going back to
the return is dishonoured, and they're no longer.
You could fail it for a number of reasons. You could literally just bang someone and be like, "Oh, there goes my fucking chastity. Failed that. Whoopsie! Fell into a man.
Yeah.
No wonder the lady of the lake's wet.
There's many ways. Touch a bow. Game over,
This is true. I mean, I feel like of all of those, touching a bow would probably get you kicked out of your Grail Val.
There's 1,000 ways to
fail. As we know, being from combat, losers.
So the answers that I was looking for everybody at home is they usually die, go mad, live in exile, or return without the Grail, which is seen as a spiritual failure in Bretonnia.
Right, just going home.
Call them a fail knight.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that is actually points for Dave. You can get one for that, buddy.
They can fail, Richie. What actually happens to them? Do they have to go sit outside with the peasants?
No, they return home essentially dishonoured, and they're frowned on and not invited to the cool kid parties.
I didn't do that much research, Tom. Jesus. It's like, I don't know if their social calendar becomes interrupted by it or not. God.
Well, I wanted to know.
They're no longer invited to barbecues.
Oh,
Exactly.
oh god, that would be rough. If they're not invited to Scott's barbecues, there's no reason to live anymore.
Losers.
That would be pretty rubbish. So this is one close to my heart. What caused the collapse of the ancient elven colonies in the old world?
Classism.
I mean, it's kind of amazing. Yeah, pretty much. Right. What did everybody actually go for?
Classism. That was my answer.
The War of the Beard.
I wrote it twice.
Right. -1 for Tom. Right, Dave, what did you get?
The War of the Beard.
Scott, what did you go for?
Right, so starts with Malekith, and I'm trying to snatch the Phoenix throne, which leads to the. Oh my god, my words are gone.
What's the name, Scott? You get 2 points if you tell me the name.
The Sunderin.
Santa.
Yes. Right. There you go. We got 2 points for Scott.
These are the Sunderin, and then eventually leads to the War of the Beard as well, but it also leads to all the elves being drawn back to Ulthuan as the Dark Elves sod off and form, well, the Dark Elves and the split. And then we have lots more civil wars that Malekith keeps trying to invade and fails.
I feel like you're trying to answer the next question as well as this question and trying to get bonus points.
Very linked on.
And I appreciate it. Scottery, I don't appreciate it.
I know, he's literally trying to get extra presents, isn't he?
Trying.
Like, it's been Christmas. It's been Christmas, Scott. You can't have it anymore.
Cramping my leg.
He's on his first day off. Santa over here is like, oh, I've worked hard. Now I'm going to confuse you kids.
So are you saying I got nothing for that answer?
No, you can get half a point, mate. You
That's
get half a point.
Because I was about to say, I actually tried on that one.
Yeah, you get half a point for that, mate. It did kill a lot of elves, so I'll give you that. Why do the dwarves still hold grudges over events thousands of years old?
Poor men's mental health awareness.
Nice.
That too. Yeah, that too. Big boys cry too. Remember that.
Not healthy. Just have a cry, get it out.
It's okay.
You know, it's what we do in the Chaos Dwarf side, and we love life.
It's great. We're healthy.
Yeah, and turn to stone. Well,
don't need Dear diary, someone brewed my beer badly today, so I need to go and have a harumph for the next 300 years.
It's more like 3,000 years, though, right?
Yeah. Fucking nonsense.
Right, Dave, what did you put?
I said chat shit, get banged.
Catch me outside.
1 point for you, Dave. Scott, what did you go for?
I wasn't sure this. I wrote Book of Grudges because it's very dwarfism. I don't know if that's why, but I know that's what they're doing in. I then referenced War of the Beard, but I don't know if that has any reference to where it started. I don't know how long ago it started. And then I also wrote because they're short and angry.
Last one. Just the last one.
Yeah, basically. So the answer to this is...
My answer was they're cranky and it's past their bedtime.
Is it shit memory? Is that what it is? They just genuinely can't remember who pissed them off. They're like, I need to just fucking start writing this down.
I think so. I think it's because it's so many people annoy them. Basically, it's because they're grumpy.
That says more about them, though, doesn't it? If it's so many people, you had to start writing a fucking book. You're the problem.
Whoa!
Any other race
going in the book?
Like that? Put me in your panty, little mental health.
You can have a grudge. You can have a grudge.
In the law, the dwarves will hold a grudge over being like underpaid by a single coin, and you're like, don't be that person. If somebody owes you 20p, forget about it. It's fine.
We solved this problem. Don't pay anyone. Easy.
So for everybody at home, the answer that I was looking for is that grudges are tied to honour, not time, and until resolved, the grudge remains active regardless of how many generations passed. It basically runs through their DNA to just want to go kick the shit out of their great-granddad who got shortchanged at a market.
There's certain grudges that are so old that they don't actually remember what the grudge is. They just know the grudge exists.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of grudges as well that are so old that you physically actually can't do the thing. So the dwarves will grudge against humans who've slighted them, for instance. So like in the book Oathbreaker, there was a grudge put in against one of like a human prince who ran away from a battle, and basically the dwarf thane's dad got killed, so the king got killed, so they put a grudge against him. But obviously, like, dwarves live a lot longer than humans, so Yeah, and then you should pick like
Hunt down
Carl
that poor guy's bloodline and butcher some innocent kids.
But you still
I can't fix the grudge.
still can't cross it out. No, because therapy, that's for weaklings.
Yeah. Basically.
That's 4, apparently. There's a height admittance to mental health.
It's just little man syndrome, surely. That's
how we got
the
around
answer we were looking for.
Hat. You get past the height.
This is true. That's how the Chaos Dwarves get past it. So the next one, what is the true purpose of the Great Book of Grudges, or the Damaz Kron?
Overcompensation for small hats.
Amazing. Scott, what did you go for?
I went for the real obvious. I went record grudges. And then
To record grudges. Yeah.
Technically correct. And then I wrote something. I was sure it was something to do with like memories and like recording the history of the dwarf people. And then I also just wrote grumpy people.
Can I add a second part to my answer? It really ties the room together. That's the second part of my answer. Yeah, it's like a rug.
Dave, what did you go for?
To demonstrate that grudging ain't easy.
I'm sure it's fun.
Ain't easy being grudgy in a world so happy.
This is entirely true. So the actual answer for everybody at home is a legal and spiritual record of the debts owed to the dwarves.
Also,
and every single... Well, yeah, obviously.
So every time you get into a trade route, that's a fucking grudge until you pay me.
I don't know why you didn't think it would be. Like, these are dwarves you're messing with. Like,
you don't get an invoice, you get a grudge.
It's not easy being grudgy.
More tax man at the end of the year. Sorry, mate, you got 12 unfiled grudges here. You're going off the tax bracket.
It's a little whisker cut off the end of your beard. So the next question: why did the War of the Beard begin? If you can give me all of the details and the proper dwarf name for this, I will give you extra points.
I've got it. I'm dying, but I've got it. So Malekith started fucking up trade routes all over the Elven Kingdom. That's the true start of the War of the Beard. Many things happened there where Malekith was disguising himself.
He befriended a dwarf, didn't he?
Yeah, so he was disguising dark elves as normal elves and fucking up dwarven caravans all over the place, which then prompted the meeting between the dwarven envoys and the elves, where the elves then, under Malekith's coercion, lopped off a beard. It should have really just been resolved there and then, but the dwarves went, "Oh, my facial hair," and decided to start a war over it, because it doesn't just grow back. I bet it grew back before the guy even got home. But, you know, before he even got home, there was like a good amount, more than my beard, because he's a dwarf. You know, more than Richie's beard, probably. But no, let's start a world-ending war over it, where both of our societies collapse to a level in which we are now fucked when the Great War Against Chaos happens, and none of our technology will go past this point, ever again.
But we got to kick the crap out of some elves, so all good times were had.
Keep more heirlooms.
I'm going to crown. On top of that, you also got to get a jazzy elven crown from the War of Vengeance.
The dwarves walked out with more heirlooms from the elves. The elves do have a few. They do have, I think they've got a great book of grudges, and you had to start again. But I might be wrong on that one.
I think if memory serves as well, like the reason Malekith knew to, or one of the reasons he knew to sort of use the dwarfs against the elves in that way was that he'd been an envoy to the dwarf race before he then, got a bit naughty.
I think gone a bit naughty is potentially a understatement. But yeah, no, he's very close friends with Snorri Whitebeard, who you did actually mention earlier, to be fair, Scott. So you can have... Yeah. So you can have a bonus point. And Tom, you also get bonus points. Dave, what have you got, buddy?
Unlicensed barbering.
Not
expansion of Turkish barbers across town centres across the country, raising suspicions of money laundering practices.
Oh, you were so close to being right, and then you just...
I know, sorry, mate, sorry. But you do get a point for that, though, because there was some unlicensed barbering that did happen. So, at the end...
don't know that, to be fair. We don't know that he wasn't licensed.
We know that there's not an elf in the world who's had to actually have a shave, so he's definitely an unlicensed BS barber.
We don't know that.
Yeah, they don't need to shave, do they? Like,
we know, Tom. We know.
Idea number 2.
So, yeah. So going into the last question, actually, I got a little bit ahead of myself and I want to give out points. Why is magic considered dangerous but necessary in the Empire?
I started being silly and then pivoted to a kind of serious answer halfway through. It looks like chicken scratch, so I'm just going to read it out. General racism is what I started on, and then I was like, actually, maybe it's xenophobia and also chaos.
I mean, kinda. To be fair, that's pretty much what the Imperium of Man loves on all of the Games Workshop editions as well. Yeah. To be fair, right. So, Scott, what did you go for?
So I went. I'm not sure I went sort of around the houses to get there, but I went obviously techless alongside the Great War of Chaos, or leading into it, sort of codified magic into the laws of magic as we now know them, and then I wrote. Sorry, go on.
Is that because this hasn't actually happened yet, and techless does all of this after the current setting?
Yes. So at the minute that it's unschooled and it's a little bit uncontrolled, so it needs some control, then it gets codified. And it's the uncontrolled magic, or I think the viewpoint is the uncontrolled magic is what can lead to chaos coming through into the old world, and magic is necessary to contain chaos, but it's dangerous because it's also the root of chaos. And you need magic to fight magic.
Unless you're a frog.
Oh, well, of course.
Yeah.
Fat frog.
Yeah. It does work. I mean, Bryn showed that it does work. It's good. Dave, what did you go for?
I went for the Elector Count witnessed Nick Boucher play Primal Herd.
You get a bonus point. You do get a bonus point. I love it. For everybody at home, the answer to this is because it comes from chaos. It is pure chaos. It can be controlled, but it is very, very dangerous. So there are definitely points getting handed around at the end of this round. So this was the end of the lore section. Thank God Dave will be able to get some questions now. So at the end of this, I'm just going to quickly tot up some scores. Please, everybody, talk amongst yourselves for a second.
Downhill.
Now going to become obvious how little of the rules we know.
Yeah. I'm going to get booted off the team after this.
This is going to be the challenge of rulebook versus Comfac, which is the worst thing in the world when you're doing an intro game. Is I have no clue what rule set we're using at any time.
One of the questions on this is, which community FAQ does this ruling come from? I'm logging off.
So at the end of the roundabout lore, Dave is leading out with a respectable -7. And then in second place, we have Tom, who has 13.5. And then we have Scott in first place, who happens to have... Oh, I've done my maths wrong. Oh, 14. That is really, really close, actually.
Whoa.
Right.
It is really close. I'm going to catch you all.
You'd think some of us are law nerds.
Your last question could be worth 100 points. I guarantee it.
Yeah, I mean, probably. Going into the rules side of the video, we are going to be opening this up with the Old World Behemoths. Please go check them out. These guys are great. This question might not actually be an Old World question.
Alistair, guess what I found in the garage?
What have you found, Alex?
I found my 2003 original Kislev army book. This thing has been held on to for 20 plus years. It's in my garage because I'm holding faith for the return of Kislev. Because when we're flicking through it...
If your Lord and Saviour Jav is anything to go by, are we going to see Kislev? Can we make some content out of this book?
Probably, but look at this. Look at these models, Alistair. Look at them. They're just beautiful. The Winged Lancers have to be my number one favourite model in the entire range.
Why were they your favourite model, Alex?
Well, they were known for their fantastic charges.
Fantastic charges?
Yes.
Was there some sort of rule that made them amazing?
The Glorious Charge.
What did Glorious Charge do?
I think we need to go to Richie for this one.
Thank you very much, guys. So that is the rules question. What does Glorious Charge do in the 2003 Kislev army for the winged lancers. So this is probably a little bit of a difficult one, I think.
This book. Adored it. Never actually got to play it, but this is one of those ones where I think every single person who played 6th edition opened this book at a certain point and was like, but if I had 500 quid, I could totally build this army,
It's a lot of money in it. Like it's kind of ridiculous how expensive it was.
Can we just
Everything was metal.
I was invited to an old world quiz, and I'm getting asked questions about 22-year-old army books when I've been playing the game for 2 years. Just call it shenanigans.
We said old.
It is old. This is for the Longbeards. It's all right. We're going to jump into rules questions right now.
Not my take then questions. Frankly, I just don't know. Kislev.
To be fair, this book was relevant and usable all the way up to 8th edition.
Not in it.
This is an amazing question as well. It's like, because I was like, right, do something that's going to stump people, and I think they've done a brilliant
I've got
job.
this one. I've got it. I'm well happy.
For question 1 from me, when a unit redirects a charge, can it charge a unit outside of maximum possible charge range? For everybody at home, can it do any shenanigans? Is there anything that you can do to extend that charge? Now, going into the second question, what nerf did they give the Trollhammer torpedo in the latest FAQ? Now, if you can name everything that happened to it, you get bonus points. I think the rule side of this will probably be a lot quicker than the law, considering that none of this is actually up for debate because it's all just written there, right? This one is potentially subjective as well. Why are trolls susceptible to magic? Yeah, why are they susceptible to magic? Why would they potentially get damaged more than other creatures by magic?
Oh, it's not a law question. It's not a law question, right?
It's not a law question, no.
Oh, shit,
could be...
a law answer.
It's not a law question.
Remember, everybody at home,
Go.
This is the rules part of the quiz. So please don't write anything law related down. This is just the brass tactics of why stuff is either good or bad in Warhammer the Old World.
I'm glad you said that. I was like, that's not right.
Yeah. So if everybody here has finished writing that down, our next question. What loophole did Tom find with Skinwolves before the latest FAQ? For everybody at home, we have a video where we discuss this, and I think we got about 1,000 comments of people calling us horrible and that we should probably quit the old world. So this is a fun little one that did get cleared up in the latest FAQ.
Right, I'm just being a hero for the community, Richie, that's all.
This is true.
You did the word scumbag.
Yeah.
This is true. So for the next question, what can the Infernal Puppet be used against? And this is post FAQ of 1.5. If you're watching this in 1.6 and it can do something absolutely crazy like teleport a wizard across the board, that is not what we're looking for.
I'm writing the full lore down for this full rule section.
I'm writing the emotional answer, and then the rule answer.
So the next question is going to be given to us from across the pond.
Hello, this is Shane, also known as Oz, and I have a question for you. A unit that began the battle with 8 members has been reduced to 2 and is now fleeing. What does that unit need to roll equal to or under in order to rally? A, their leadership value. B, their leadership value -1. Or C, a natural double 1.
Actually, quite a tricky one, I think.
I think I knew the answer to that one without the multiple choice.
Thank you very much for that, Shane. Really, really appreciate it. I know it was kind of really early when I messaged you about doing that video, so thank you so much for that, mate. Really good to have you on the channel again. And almost a tricky one, I think. I think that can kind of catch people out. So at the end of that round, we are going to jump straight into the video answers from the rules segments.
Don't worry, I found it. It states that if they have a unit strength of 5 or more, the unit that's being charged must take a panic test as if it has been charged in the flank.
Close.
So an interesting one there. Judging by Tom's reaction, he didn't get that right. So starting with you, Tom, what did you get for that, mate?
I said it's a fear test, but it wasn't really fair because it did the exact same effective thing. It did the exact same thing as failing a fear test.
This is
but
the
it had
rule
the thing where
selection.
if you caused
Preciseness
fear,
is required.
You still took the test because it was a
Yeah.
panic test, not a fear test. So it was a really
Unfortunately,
I was wrong.
Yeah, unfortunately, you're actually going to get -1 for this because I just assumed you were going to get it right.
Oh,
So, Dave, what did you get for that, mate?
I said that they charge, but with a bit of the old razzle dazzle.
It was, yeah. You know what it was? Apparently, it was their red painted horses and fluttering flags made you scared because they had two flags, not one.
What'd you go for, Scott?
I wrote the equivalent of first charge because I knew it did something, but I couldn't remember what.
So it did a thing,
basically. I said the equivalent of first charge. I thought maybe it disrupted, that they lost rank bonuses. But either way, I was wrong.
It's fine. We'll take that. Thank you so much for the question, guys.
You remember that one, Rich? Out of curiosity?
Oh, obviously.
Obviously, I did.
All right. Sorry.
No, not at all. I would not have got that. So, for the first of my written ones, when a unit redirects a charge, can it charge a unit outside of the maximum possible charge range? And this is with shenanigans, everybody.
No.
What did you go for? You went for no? What did you go for, Dev?
This is a yes, but answer. Because they can't redirect the charge, but they can hit something if they redirect something and drill out of it.
That's not redirecting into a new target. Yeah. That's hitting, and that's an accidental contact.
Yeah.
What did you go for, Scott?
So the answer is no. You can never declare a charge on a unit that is outside of your maximum declarable charge range. But you can technically make a charge further than your maximum declarable charge range.
Yeah.
With twist stride and etc. So you can't technically make a charge, but you cannot declare a charge that's outside of your maximum.
You can complete it, but not declare it.
Correct.
Yeah, so this is a little bit of a wibbly one that I put in to kind of catch some people out. So the answer to this is yes and no, because there are a couple of little shenanigans that you can do, like drilling out, for instance. So like if you've got an infantry unit that can drill, you can hit stuff that is definitely outside, but you cannot declare. So that's a bit of a yes and no. So everyone's going to get points for that, I think, because there was no right answer, no wrong answer, really. So for the next question, we have, what nerf did they give the Trollhammer torpedo in the latest FAQ? If you can give me everything, then you get bonus points. What did you go for, Dave?
So they dropped it to strength 5.
Yep.
Did they give it ponderous and then drop the +1 to make it D3 only?
Almost there, Scott.
It didn't have D3 +1 anyway. It was always D3. Did they always also, on top of that, remove it or adjust its AP? Or it lost quickfire?
Which one are you going for? You're so close.
AP.
So I've got strength drop.
Yeah.
It lost quick shot and it gained ponderous.
No, so it never actually had quick shots. So it changed from strength 5 and it replaced dwarf crafted with cumbersome, making it absolutely useless.
Oh, that was shoots rubbish.
Yeah. So you can all have a 1 point for that, but nobody gets the bonus points. Hopefully everybody at home managed to get that one. I can imagine people watching this channel were very, very upset by this. Now, going into the next question, hopefully you haven't put a law one. So why are trolls susceptible to magic? And Pillar of Fire and Fireball probably the main. Yeah. So I think everybody.
I've got a Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney answer to this question, because I've answered your question. I'm also objecting to it as well.
Because it's not just magic that they're susceptible to; it's all flaming attacks.
There's elements to this. The goblin in the room will save it for you. So can't reroll regens in Troll Horde to magical attacks. They also have flammable, which means they can't take the regens in the first place. But my Phoenix Wright objection is Stone Trolls have MR1, so they're less susceptible to magic than a typical unit as well. So less of the troll racism, you.
Typical dwarf gamer.
Shocking.
Yeah. On the plus side, though, Dave does get double points for mentioning the fact that the regen goes. So that is a good pointer for Dave in this round.
Yeah,
So the next...
I can't use reroll. It was literally all I had.
Ah, right. There you go. There we go. So the next question: what loophole did Tom find with Skinwolves before the latest?
baby? Everyone can have it at all times. There's no need to ask the person running the tournament. You put a character in there, they turn into God. Just that's it. That's the end of
it. Scott, Dave, did you get this as well?
Yeah, the loophole was that they allowed characters to join the unit and then made them never be able to die. I think
you can still have them in the unit. They're going to
get no longer makes them never able to die.
yeah, getting the warp form bonus on characters. Can I just say, you never actually won a GT with that bollocks. Did it once, came second, never played it again.
Do we add in because I did warp form giving the Skinwolves buffs to Chaos characters, but did he not at the time double stack the buffs as well to give him 2 buffs in subsequent combats?
You can do that anyway. Yeah. That never got FAQ'd away.
Yeah,
I was putting Primal Fury on them, and I was putting Warp Form on them as well. They got rid of Warp Form. They didn't get rid of Primal Fury, but meh.
Yeah. So he was a very naughty boy, and Games Workshop noticed and slapped it back down. So into the final question before our bonus answer, we have: what can the Infernal Puppet be used against post FAQ?
Spells and bound spells.
Hopes and dreams. And then 15 inch music.
Well, it's the 15-inch 3d6 take the lowest. Double 1 on any of the 3 dice involves a miscast.
Yeah.
Got all that too.
They did nerf its range
to 15 inches. It's
15 inches. Yeah, it's the inverse power scroll.
Yeah, but it's now usable on wizardly casts and bound spells.
That is a bonus points for Scott and Dave, and 1 point for Tom. And then going into our guests' question, let's have a look at the answer now.
And of course, the answer is B, their leadership value -1. Since the unit has been reduced to 25% of their starting value, but not below 25%, their leadership is reduced by 1, but they're not required to roll double ones.
Thank you so much for that, Shane. Really appreciate it. And that is a pretty hard answer. I think there's a lot of people out there that probably aren't playing this. What did everybody get?
I wrote B, and then nice. You won't be able to see. But also then put in brackets, you need to be sub 25% for ones, not at 25% for ones.
Or cheat, you know.
Oh, you could cheat, whatever. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of people that kind of almost don't play this right. So there's a lot of people that potentially could get caught out by that one. Dave, what did you go for?
Need -1 before you even give the options.
Yeah.
It's
the -1 that catches people out. Or you just play armies that don't ever need to rally.
Just play single model entities.
Remember, your musician gives you +1 to rally and march.
Not if you've got a Cacophony and a Dirge, the best magic item in the game. So I just started running in. It ruined someone's day the other day. It was fabulous.
As opposed to when we played where none of our items did anything to each other because...
Nothing. Yeah. Woohoo! 200 points off. Fuck all. Yeah.
So I've just done a little bit of quick math at the end of the first round of rules questions. Dave is at -2 because he managed to bring it back round. Tom is on 18.5 and Scott is on a very respectable 19. Well done. Smashing it, lads. Absolutely smashing it. I know. So going into the next round, which will probably be the final round, we have a very special guest, which is going to be just asking a question that could potentially catch a lot of us out.
All right, Chief. I've got a quiz question for you. All you Dawi lovers out there might stumble you. So what army can take the maximum amount of bolt throwers? And how many is it? Good luck.
This one is actually pretty tricky, I think. It kind of stumbled me a little bit. I had to actually go and have a look and then ask Pash afterwards, actually, because I was like, I'm not sure. It wasn't actually the army that I thought it was. So after this, we have...
Can I just say really quickly, it's super cool that you managed to get Ash Ketchum on to ask a question. Really cool.
He's let himself go, isn't he? So I have to catch you, Pikachu. So sixth question from me. What is the casting value of Ancestral Warriors in the Law of Ying from Cathay? Now, there are bonus points to this if you get the lower and the higher at the same time.
What's this bollocks? What kind of self-hating lunatic plays Cathay? Who can come forward in public and play Cathay?
I'm going to just say how upset I am that you told everybody about the dual casting value there.
Sorry, mate. Sorry.
I'd already written it down.
For everybody at home, there is 2 casting values there, so if you get this, I'll be definitely impressed. Second question. In the Ogre Kingdom's Legacy Journal, what does the rule largely insignificant do?
Makes Nobler's boss, man.
that it does. And a Dawi themed question. How many points is a non-upgraded Doomseeker? So this is just a bare bones stock one, either in a Slayer army or as a mercenary.
So I'm having technical difficulties.
Hopefully everybody at home can get this. So for number 9, in a Renegade Crowns army list, what war machines can they take?
Do you want the exact names?
Yes, please. The exact names will get you bonus points. And then the final rules question. What has been the single most divisive model released by Games Workshop for Warhammer the Old World? This is a bonus of 100 points for this one. So if you can get this, then you can skyrocket your score right up there.
My electric pad has failed me, so just ask me the questions when we go back through. I'm just going to freeball this shit because I can't write anything down anymore.
That's fine, mate. So for one of our last questions, we have a very, very special guest. And this one is quite a difficult question, I think. But we have the beautiful human of Charlie.
Here's a vampire counts question for you. Only 2 units in the vampire book have countercharge. The first is Blood Knights. What is the second?
Now, I genuinely did not have a clue when he sent that to me, and I had to ask him. That was a pretty tough one for me. And now, closing off the quiz, we have one final question. Now, this is a lore question, but I've saved it to the end because this is quite a difficult one, and this is a bonus question as well. This comes from a true dwarf, and it is worth an extra bonus 50 points. So if you can get this one and the one that's worth 100 points, you can really skyrocket your scores up. Now, heading over to the previous captain of Ireland, this is Cian.
Now, what was the name of the goblin who sieged and burned down Bugman's brewery, earning himself a name in the Book of Grudges?
Thank you very much, mate. Really, really appreciate it. Always nice to have you on the channel. So let's have a look through all of the previous questions and get the final scores in, shall we? So the question for Pash, I didn't get a video back off him for the answer, but if anybody wants to let me know what it is, shall we start with Dave?
I guessed Chaos Dwarfs.
Unfortunately, that is wrong. So, Scott, what have you gone for?
I guess 2. I guess 8.
I was torn. I'd initially written Orcs and Goblins, and then you went, it's not who I thought it was going to be. I was like, well, fucking mustn't be Orcs and Goblins.
Yeah. It's like 8 for them and all.
Is it now actually, is it High Elves?
I tell you what we'll do is we'll watch it again so we can see Ash Ketchum again, and then we'll jump back in. So it's just not what you think it is at all. It's crazy.
All right, Chief. I've got a quiz question for you. All you Dawi lovers out there might stumble you. So what army can take the maximum amount of bolt throwers? And how many is it? Good luck.
Now,
tell you what,
he
looks
knows
like he's
that...
about to start a TikTok dance craze.
Is it dwarves?
No, do you know what it is? It's because Pash is starting to get loads of new subscribers on YouTube, and he's just trying to dress like the youth now. That's what he's doing. But yeah, considering they can't take any, it is. No, but what he's done is he's tried to be really offensive by saying dwarf lovers because it's elves. Damn it! It is the Sea Guard. They can take 12. If
I'll
not
bring high elves
13.
on 12. Where's my camera?
Did you put high elves in 12?
Yeah.
Your blurry piece of paper proves nothing.
Oh
sir.
no! I'm
sending
you a photo. I'm sending you a photo.
Unfortunately, your blur setting means you're not getting any points for that.
No, it's true.
Screwed over by your wanton need for privacy, Scott.
Yeah, unfortunately. No, it's all right. You can get a score for that. I don't believe that you'd lied to me, Scott.
I've written HE for clarity. I haven't actually written High Elves because
He's not written Seaguard Garrison though.
It's a High Elf list.
Gotta be specific.
It's a High Elf list, and I've even written 12. And that was only because when you said it's not who you think, there's I can't be Orcs.
It's funnier if he doesn't get a point. Just saying.
And
I my back.
Right, so let's have a look at the answers to some of these questions. What was the casting value of the ancestral warriors in the Law of Yin for Cathay? What did you go for, everybody?
Dave seemed very confident.
Well, I knew there was 2 to it, and my guess was 8-11.
That's exactly what I've guessed, but mine is a pure guess. I wrote 7-11, and then I crossed out the 7 and wrote 8, and I wrote 8-11.
I went 7-12.
So the answer is 7-11.
Shit! I'm written at the start. No.
Do I get half a point?
Everybody could get half a point for that.
Oh,
there you go.
I'm absolutely good.
Right, this next one.
Nah, it's got to be higher than a 7 for the base and change it to 8.
This next one is where my world ended. So can you repeat the question for this next one? Because I don't know what it is.
Right. No problem at all. So in the Ogre Kingdom's Legacy Journal, what does the rule largely insignificant do?
They don't cause panic tests in anything, ever.
Yeah.
So going for that?
Yeah.
Everybody? Right. Everybody gets a point. They do not cause panic. Now, for the next question, how many points is a non-upgraded Doomseeker? Scott, what did you get?
88. I don't know.
50.
Dave?
85.
Right. Tom is the only one that scores. They cost 50.
Fuck off. What an absolute scam.
So good.
Next up,
Dave. About dwarfs and they're that broken.
I know, right? In the Renegade's Crown Army list, what war machines can you take? Now, Dave, you were very confident with this, so let's have a look. What'd you get?
So the exact names are the Border Prince Bombard, the Border Prince Mortar, and a Border Prince Organ Gun.
That's what I had.
Scott, what did you get?
I had additional ones to those.
Oh, so minus points then. Right, so Dave...
And then I started slamming more in, and I was like, yeah, I could have some Empire ones as well.
So Dave and Tom can get 2 points, and Scott can get -2. There we go.
And then got my high elf one of 2 points, goddamn you.
I have actually. Thank you very much. What has been the single most divisive model cafe? Sorry, I jumped in it a little bit then. Single most divisive model released by Games Workshop for Warhammer: The Old World this year.
Can I ask for just clarification? Are we talking about the model which the community went, why in the 7 fucks did you release that, Games Workshop?
No clarifications.
Or the model where people are like, why have you done this to my game? Because if it's the first one, it's that unreleased Bretonnian Duke.
Oh,
on foot.
Yeah, I've answered both, and I've said...
So bear in mind, everybody, right, that this is a 100-point question, and if you don't give me the actual correct answer, then you don't get the 100 points.
It's the balloon, or it's the Bretonnian with the face, depending on how you're asking the question. Is it, what the fuck did you do to my game, or what the fuck is this model?
Okay, considering we're on the rules part of the question, the
balloon.
Most divisive balloon. For the rules.
The Cathayan Sky Lantern.
Damn it! I was going to get you on that.
So that is a bonus 100 points to everyone in there. Everybody at home, if you manage to get the Sky Lantern.
Fucking balloons.
Sorry, turtles.
Sky Lantern.
Turtles.
Yeah. So the bonus questions that we managed to get from the beautiful Charlie and the ever majestic Kian. So what did you get for Charlie's?
Can I answer this one? Because there's a tiny bit of backstory to the answer to this question. That we have a Team England New Year's Day gaming day in which the awful human being that Scott Reed is tried to bring 5 Screams to a fun list day, in which I created another list for him where I learned that the Vargulf has countercharge.
Vargulf is the singular, I'd say maybe the second least used unit behind Crypt Horrors. You know, but yeah, it's got all of these great stats. And like, oh shit, it's got Frenzy too. Fuck. Oh no.
It used to be great in 8th edition as well, you know.
Yeah, so the correct answer for this is Vargul for everybody out there. I thought that was generally quite a difficult question, actually. I was kind of sat there being like, does the Mortis have it? You start like kind of second guessing yourself. But yeah, that's a very good question from Charlie. And now the one from Kian. What goblin burned down Bugman's brewery and got himself a cheeky name in the Damaz Quran?
I'm torn between two. The one I've written down is Skarsnik, Lord of the Eight Peaks, but I think it might be Grom the Paunch.
What did you go for, everybody?
I initially went Skarsnik, and then I actually changed mine to Grom. I thought maybe he burnt that down before he sodded off to lay siege.
But then he went off to Ulthuan, didn't he?
Yeah. Maybe he's just that much of an absolute baller that he chinned both of the ancient races.
Warm up,
yeah, like he went there, he got drunk, then he got a chariot. There's a little goblin on the back, and he thought, "Ah, fuck, I'm drunk now. I might as well go to Ulthuan."
Regen from the troll, not from beer. So I don't know.
So before we jump into this, you can actually change your answers on this because it is worth 50 points. This was the burning of Bugman's brewery was done years before he was a ranger. Remember, he went off into exile as a ranger.
That doesn't help.
Doesn't help. For anybody out there, this is Git Guzzler.
Oh, I wrote Git Snick, which is similar.
I wrote Dave.
That's an axe. Git Snick is an axe. I know that.
It's the Black Orcs from the 8th edition. I forgot his name.
Grimgor.
Grimgor is Grimgor's axe. I was like, maybe just named after a little goblin.
Right, considering that nobody here got that one, or hopefully somebody at home got that one, I have a bonus question that could potentially make someone else here get the win. So for the final bonus question that could potentially get someone the points to win this, what do you gain from charging or doing a follow-up move with the Royal Clan's Arcane Journal? Come on, quick fire round. What'd you get? Scott, go.
What'd you get? P1.
+1 strength.
Ah, Scott doesn't get it. It is +1 strength.
You just won't do that one, office. Stupid dwarves. The stupid rules.
Because no one ever gets it. We never actually.
Nobody plays them. I've lost it. I'm gone. I'm done. Stupid dwarves.
So let me know, everybody, what you got, and thanks for joining in for this very silly big fat quiz of the old world. I will let you know the scores. So in third place we have Scott with 128. Second place with Dave with 132, and then Tom is crowned our big fat winner with 142. Well done. It was a very close round, and unfortunately, Scott, you would have won. So thank you so much, everybody, for watching. And a very happy 2026. I can't wait to see what's going to happen in the FAQ. And hopefully the game is just going to get better and better. So thank you so much, guys, for coming on. It was an absolute pleasure. And I'll see you very soon.
Thanks for all watching Dawi's Hour After Dark. That's what the channel's called now that I've won. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Thank you. Thanks so much to everybody for coming onto the video. Thanks so much to all the guests. I hope you all got some very good scores out there and actually managed to get higher scores than all of us here. Now, leading us out of this are the boys from Old World Behemoths, and they have a question for everybody out there.
We can't miss this opportunity without asking everyone on the quiz tonight, what makes you a behemoth?